March Madness is here, baby. You guys know what that means. College basketball, NBA, a whole lot of hardwood action for us every single day. Conference tournaments are getting going. Man, I love it. It's my most favorite time of the year. And for today's show, I've got three best bets for you guys. One in college basketball, one NBA player prop, and then one NBA side as well. We're breaking it all down on today's episode of the Free Three. Let's get into it and let's have a day.
I love it, Noble. Noble, I also love your YouTube videos. I watched them while I was gone. That was fire.
But getting paid because yesterday we had a full sweep. Mike going under, that was just icing on the cake. Why are we going to go in such a weak AFC South? Unless we have the NBA Blowout Association.
Bang! Knicks take a 1-point lead with 13
When you hear the sirens, you know what that means.
You got barbecue back there, and you didn't invite me. Hurt my feelings.
Good morning, my friends and family. What is up? It is your boy Noble Living back with another DYF Bets video where I'm breaking down my favorite picks and plays of the day as we just try to get to the bag together and make that money. Like I mentioned, March is here, guys. I'm super excited. I'm pumped. We have a new month. We put February behind us, and now it's time to get things rolling. College basketball, NBA, and then some of my NHL bettors out there. Shout out to my boy Ron, who's in the building. What's up, Ron? Good to see you, man. NHL, they're after the All-Star break, so it's like everything is, if you're a bettor and you're just like not wanting baseball season just yet, this is our time to really lock in because we know what's coming on the horizon with baseball. We have a lot of great things that are going here on the channel. I appreciate all the love and support. If you are new, we're here every weekday. Make sure you smash that subscribe button, and we've been doing pretty good here on the channel. On Friday, it wasn't our best day, I'm not gonna lie. We did have a full fade day on Friday, but we were able to make up for it over the weekend. So we're gonna dive into what we did real quickly. A quick recap for the weekend. You can see yesterday we went 2-1 on the day. In our last 7 days, we've went 22-14, not too bad. And we were able to kind of salvage a little something from February. And we could see here we were able to finish in the green. That is what we want. But we're not satisfied because this is not going to get us paid. We got to keep cashing in. Let's go for a quick recap, guys, about how we did here on the channel. And then we'll kind of give you an update with all the numbers for February and everything like that. On Saturday, we had an amazing 7-3 day. We got Grand Canyon right. We got a late night bankroll builder right. We took Georgia plus 5.5. We lost on Mizzou, but they really probably should have won that game. Cincinnati, I told you guys I was tailing Tanner Truth, but I did like Cincinnati to keep that game close. Man, this Alabama team total, we were so close. 1 bucket away. And then also our early bankroll builder cashed on Saturday as well alongside Georgia Tech. Our only bad loss of the day was really Kentucky there. And this is what I'm showing you guys because this is really what I'm looking for. Even when I lose certain bets like the Alabama, I took the team total over 77.5. I probably should take them plus 3.5, but I still landed at 76. It means that I'm reading the board okay. And that's really what I want right now. I want to build my confidence, and I hope you guys are as well as handicappers. Building your confidence as we're going into March by making sure that you're reading the board all right. So sometimes that means you might have to machine gun it a little bit. You can see on Saturday I took 10 bets. I never take that many bets, but I really want to make sure, and that's not even including all the games, because you can see I had a 4-leg here, I had another 4-legger here with all different teams, and then I had another 5-legger here with different teams, and all of these were different teams. So in total on Saturday, I probably bet 20 games, and to really look at it, I lost 3 bets. That is what I'm looking for. That is what I want when I'm building the momentum into March. So we've been doing all right here on the channel. And for today's video, guys, we're going to go to the college basketball slate real fast. And there's not the best of games on. We do have some conference tournament action that's getting started as well. But for the games that I'm taking a look at, we have a lot of mid-majors. And one mid-major school that's probably not one that you guys have watched so far this year, but I do like the situational spot for them. And we're going to go here, and it's the early game. Southern University against Florida A&M. Now, Southern on the year, they're 18-10. Meanwhile, Florida A&M is 13-14. Not too bad. But if we look at the conference standings in the Southland, which is where both of these teams play, give me 1 second. I just pull it up on ESPN because I like the way it looks on ESPN a little bit better than KenPom when we look at the conference standings. Makes it a little bit easier to digest. We could see here that for the SWAC, I said the Southland, I meant the SWAC, excuse me. You can see Southern, they're 13-2 on the year. They're number 1 team in the conference. Meanwhile, Florida A&M, they're not too bad at 10-6, so they're in the middle of the pack. But if you look at the remaining schedule, schedule for Southern, as we can see here, they've got Florida A&M today. They've got Alabama State, Alabama A&M. Let's scroll out real quickly and let's go back to the conference standings. They've got Alabama State, another middle-of-the-pack team, and then Alabama A&M, a bottom conference team. The reason why I'm showing you all this is because it's basically Southern's conference to lose at this point. They're 2 games ahead of the next leading team. You've got 3 games left, and at that point, you really just can't lose more than 2 games, and you're good. And at that point, you go down to a tiebreaker, and then considering the fact that they beat Jackson State right here, they should own the head-to-head tiebreaker with Jackson State. So what am I saying? This is Southern's conference to lose. Does that mean you take your foot off the gas? No. That means you keep your foot on the pedal. So as we go to KenPom here, you can see they're ranked 225th on KenPom. But for a team like Southern in the SWAC to be ranked 135th in defensive efficiency on KenPom, that's very good. They're 102nd in effective field goal percentage. They're 23rd in turnover percentage. These are the numbers that get you to start upsetting some people when we get to the bigger bracket. Now, I'm not saying that Southern's one of those programs because they do a little bit undersized. It is a matchup by matchup thing. But I'm saying when you have a team that is in the SWAC and they're giving you this strong of a defense and they typically are facing teams that are not that good offensively, that's how you start running the table and you're now 13-2 in conference. If they win this game against Bethune-Cookman, I probably fade them here. But the fact that they lost this game to Bethune-Cookman on the road, and they were winning the majority of that game because I almost took them on this game on Saturday, it gives me confidence to take them here in this spot. So for today, our first best bet is going to be Southern minus 3.5. If you want to take them on the money line and parlay them with something, be my guest, but I'm willing to lay a little bit more of the one possession. If you can get a 2.5 out there, I would look for that. It looks like the line is moving a little bit in favor of Florida A&M, so you may want to wait for a little bit later in the day. I might get bad CLV on this, but recording this video so early in the morning, I typically don't get the best CLV. Okay, you can see right here, BetMGM is going to get us minus 2.5 at minus 118. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go 2.5 because I really do like that extra, and I'm going to go at minus 120. All right, so I'll pay a little bit extra of the juice for the minus 2.5. We can get BetMGM here at minus 1 at 2.5. You can see Caesars has minus 3 at minus 110. So you could probably get the minus 2.5 or minus 120 or minus 125. Right? So we're gonna lay that the minus 2.5 for one to win 1 unit for Southern against Florida A&M. And if we look at this game a little bit deeper, you see these teams have not played since January 11th, but Florida A&M lost this game 91-57. It's just a very significant, drastic difference when you have some of these smaller conferences like the South End, when you got a team like McNeese, which is 18-1 in conference, or 12, I don't know what the record, but they only lost 1 conference game. Or you got a team like Southern that's 13-2 in conference. It's their conference. Central Connecticut, they've won like 11 games in a row. So it's literally them and everybody else. And that's what I see for Southern here. Can Florida A&M keep it close? Sure. If we want to look at how they've been doing recently, but it's not that impressive. They're still middle of the pack. They lost to a bad Alabama A&M team. They lost to Alabama State. Yeah, they're back at home, but I'm not really buying it. I'm taking Southern here. We're locking that in for our first pick of the day. Now, our second best bet of the day, we're going to go to the NBA hardwood real fast. And let's go to our player prop of the day. Have you guys looked at the total in this game between the Hawks and the Grizzlies? We've got a line that opened up at 250. It is now 253.5. I don't think I've ever seen a line that high pre-game for that's ridiculous. Like, you can literally finish the game 130 to 120. And this bet still hits for the under. That's wild. So for me, I don't want to touch the total, even though I do lean towards the over. You guys know I like to get some of my best bets from Doink Sports. And one of the bets that they brought to my attention earlier today when I was kind of doing my research is, let me see if they kind of pull it up. Okay, it's not going to show me here. Okay, we'll go here. Sorry, guys. We'll go right here. Is Jaren Jackson, right? One of the bets that they told I should take a look at is Jaren Jackson under points. His line opened at 24.5. You can see now that it's been dropped down to 23.5. And they said to take under 24.5, 23.5 points because, one, you could see that he's only gone over this number in 3 of the last 10 games. So he has not consistently hit this number. And coming off of a great shooting performance against the Spurs at 42 points, it is the perfect letdown spot. And then when you look at the defense for the Atlanta Hawks guarding the power forward position, they don't really give up a lot of points to power forwards. They haven't given it up. They've only allowed 3 of their last 10 power forwards that they faced to go over this number, one being Paolo, the 2 of them actually being Paolo, and then one of them being Bobby Portis. So when it brought my attention to this under, I was like, okay. And then when I looked at that total, I was like, wait a second. Because it's very hard to justify taking an under points when you have such a high total. Because even if you score 120 points, when you look at this Grizzlies team and you look at how they are broken down offensively, there's really 3 names. Ja, JJJ, and Desmond Bane, right? Now, if we scroll up to the top real quickly, I just want to look at the game overview so you could see real quick what the injury report's looking like. Ja, he's day-to-day with the shoulder injury. He is supposed to play today. But when you look at the numbers, 21 points per game, 19 points per game, or 18 points per game for Desmond Bane, 23 points per game for Jaren Jackson Jr. I can't take the under just because of how high the total is. So what is the bet that I'm going to be taking? We're going to lock in Desmond Bane over 20.5 points. The line is already bumped up from 19.5, but we're going to take 20.5 points. Now, the reason why I like this is, 1, because it's a high total, but 2, if JJJ is supposed to go under based on how the Hawks guard the power forward position, and then Ja Morant is banged up and injured, and he's really been dishing and diming a lot lately, it means that we got to have Desmond Bane score the points. And you can see recently he's gone over this number in 6 of the last 10 games. He's having 21 points per game over the last 10 games, 24 points against the Knicks, 25 against the Suns. We have to go back a few more games, but 23 against the Pacers, and then 23 against the Clippers. All good games. Now, against the Hawks in his career, he's gone over this number in all 3 games. 23 points earlier this year in December, and then dating back to 2 years ago, because he didn't play them last season, 37 points, and then 25 points. And now when we go to our friends at Fantasy Pros, and we look at how the Hawks have been defending the shooting guard position, we can see they're giving up the 3rd most points per game to the shooting guard position. And then we look at the 3-point line, they're giving up the 7th most points, 3-point pointers per game to the shooting guard position. And what does Desmond Bane like to do? Shoot a lot of threes, and they're already not guarding the shooting guard position that well, despite what we're seeing at some of the head-to-head opponents here. So for me, I'm not overthinking it. Desmond Bane, we have such a high total at 250. How are we going to get the points? I'm going to rock with Mr. Desmond Bane over 20.5 points. He's been cashing in pretty consistently. We're locking that in for bet number 2. So 2 best bets down, 1 final one to go. And it's not going to be a popular pick, but I think I like the read. Now, Doink Sports brought something towards my attention today about a team total, and I want to be able to now kind of hedge off of it because there's 2 bets I like. So I was doing the research. They told me to take a look at this Blazers and 76ers game. The Blazers are coming off of a back-to-back. They lost last night to the Cavaliers in overtime, 129. Let's scroll down real quick to look at the exact score so I'm not wrong here. 129 to 133. They were 11-point underdogs in that game, but they covered the spread. They lost in overtime. Okay? But look at this game before that against the Brooklyn Nets. They were 1.5-point favorites. They win the game by 19. Against the Washington Wizards, 6-point favorites. They win the game by 8 points. Against the Jazz, they were 7.5-point favorites, but only win the game by 2. Against the Hornets, they were favored by 6 points, and they win the game by damn near 60 points. So what am I looking at here? The Blazers not only have won 4 of their last 5, but they've covered the spread in 4 of their last 5. And if you look at their numbers against the spread this season, they're 35-25 against the number, which is very impressive. They're 17-13 against the number on the road, and they're 31-21 against the number as an underdog. And where are they at today? On the road at the Philadelphia 76ers, the most banged up team in the league. And I'm going to be honest, if it wasn't for a historic game on Saturday for Quentin Grimes, they would have lost this game to the Warriors, and they would have lost 5 straight games. So this win is really not that impressive because it took a 40-point performance from one of your role players who's averaging 11 points per game. So what am I saying? They're too banged up. they're too hurt. So what am I locking in? I'm going 2 best bets here. We're going to go Blazers on the money line for half a unit, and then I'm going to hedge that with another half a unit on their team total over 113.5. I think the Blazers win the game outright, but because it's the second day of a back-to-back, I get it. They're on the road. All right, let's not do that. Let's just also hedge with the team total. And when we look at the numbers for the team total real fast, we can see here that the Blazers have gone over this number of 113.5 in 7 of the last 10 games. They're averaging 118 points per game. 129 last night, 121, 129, 114, 141, 121, 117. That looks pretty good to me. And then when you look at the 76ers on their side over the last 10 games, they're giving up on average 118 points per game. 119 to the Warriors. They only give up 110 to the Knicks, but that was a little bit more of a grinded out type of game. 142 to the Bulls, 124 to the Celtics. I'm not worried about the Nets or the Raptors because they don't have any type of offense. And then 135 to the Bucks and 125 to the Pistons. So for me, I like it. Now, I understand that the Blazers are dealing with a lot of injuries. If we want to look at the injury report real quickly, guys, they are dealing with a lot of injuries. No DeAndre Ayton, no Thibault, no Jeremy Grant. He might play today, but I don't think he's going to play. And no Robert Williams. But for me, they still got Anthony Simons. They still got Scoot Henderson off the bench. They still got Avita. They still got Kamara. And let's be honest, look at this team for the 76ers. Maxi's banged up. His thumb is hurt or something's wrong with him. He's not playing his best. Quentin Grimes, like I said, he's not really known for his defense. He's a three-point type of stretch guy. Oubre is really the only real defender they have in the lineup. Paul George is washed. And then Andre Drummond is Andre Drummond. So I just don't see how the Blazers are playing some of their best ball right now, how the Sixers are going to really beat them. All this green, all the overs, it just screams team total to hedge off the fact that the Blazers are playing on the second night, back-to-back, and on the money line. That's what I like here. So really officially 4 best bets, but again, we're splitting that last half unit play here on the free 3. We're going Blazers on the money line at plus 130. The team total over 113.5. And then our other best bets is going to be Desmond Bane over 20.5 points, and then Southern minus 3.5. That's what we're locking in. Let me see. I see some comments in the section here. I missed you guys. What's up, Shark? He said, whoa. No Drummond slander will not be tolerated. I feel you, bro. But listen, Andre Drummond's not what he used to be. I'm not mad at it. You're still a vet in the league. Cash that check, bro. Make that bench money. But I just don't see it, man. I just don't see how he's going to be able to, the Sixers, they may win. But Maxey, they got to figure that out. So that's really what I'm looking at for today, my friends. That's what we're locking in. I'm going to have a few more added plays. My boy Sharklark, I just pulled him up here. Make sure you're following him on Action Network. Follow me on Action Network as well at Noble Living. I tail Shark multiple times a week. This dude's been absolutely crushing and killing it. He puts out a lot of great picks. And the tailing bets that I'd let y'all know when I'm tailing people on Action Network. If I pull it up real quickly, and then I'll get so we can get out of here. But if you guys see here, if I go like view all picks real quick, I'll let you know like when I'm tailing people. I'm pretty sure I tailed you, Shark, like 2 days ago. See, I say tailing Tanner Truth. Let me see if I load more picks real quick. Tailing Sharklark on the over right here. He gave me a nice, beautiful over, and it's something that I agreed with. So I give you guys a little bit of a write-up as well, but make sure you guys are following Sharklark there on Action Network, and then myself at Noble Living as well, so that way we can continue to crush the sports books together, all right? Appreciate y'all. Appreciate you, Curbs, for tapping in. Shark is goated for sure. Ron is goated with the bozo packs, man. Put me onto the moneyline parlays. Shout out to the community, guys. Love y'all. I'll be back on Search today as well, man. Appreciate all you guys for tapping in. This is the free 3, and I'm gonna get back on streaming where we could just kick it a little bit more as well. I miss just talking to you guys. All right, so I appreciate all the love and support that you guys have been showing. Let's keep running up the bank, and as always, dictate your fate, get to that cheddar, and I'll see y'all in tomorrow's video. Later, gang.